Good morning, students. Today I'm going to talk about the processes of word formation with you. Language makes use of words for expressing various ideas, for collecting information, for giving information, for analyzing, for making critical commentaries, so on and so forth. All the operations of our life are carried through communication in a particular language. And how words come to us, it is determined by the various forms and processes of word formation that have been used and taken a recourse to in the history of that language. So here, with respect to this topic of word formation, we are going to see how in English language various processes have been used to create the myriad kinds of words which we see before us. Many words become obsolete and out of use with the changing times, and with various inventions, discoveries, and change of age and societies and sensibilities and cultural evolution to meet those needs and demands of expression. New words are coined, and the word gains popularity in a community because of its widespread usage, and that's how it gets accepted by that community. So let us look at the various processes of word formation. Words are formed through the process of affixation or derivation, through compounding, reduplication, echoism, clipping, acronym, conversions, borrowings, inventions, back formation, and blends. To begin with, let's look at the first process of word formation, that is affixation or derivation. See, affixes are the morphemes which are attached to a base word to give rise to a new word. So, all those affixes which are attached to the base word to create new words can be classified into two categories, that is prefix and suffix. So the process under affixation has come to be known as prefixation or suffixation. In prefixation, some kind of group of letters is attached to a base word in the beginning of that word to create a new word. And in suffixation, a morpheme or the minimal meaningful unit of the words is attached at the end of the base word to create a new word. Now look at this example, happiness. Here, happy is the base word to which the suffix ness is attached to create a new word called happiness. Now, each word has a grammatical function to perform, and it belongs to a grammatical class or a part of speech, so as to say. Whereas happy belonged to the grammatical class of an adjective. Adjectives, the words which modify the meaning of a noun in a sentence, which tells us about the qualities of that noun or that name of a person, place, or thing. Now that adjective happy got converted into happiness. Happiness is the name of a quality, a feeling. It's abstract, so it belongs to the category of abstract noun. So the suffix ness, while getting attached to happy, not only created a word which is new, that is happiness, but it also changed the class of the original word happy from an adjective to a new grammatical class, that is happiness, which is a noun. Let us look at the morphological analysis of the word unfriendly. When we say morphology, students, morphology is the science of the forms and the processes of word formation. So it's a scientific study of words in a language. And when we say morpheme, it is a unit of a word. What kind of a unit? The minimal meaningful unit of a word, which cannot be further split into other parts or divisions. Look at this word, unfriendly. Now, unfriendly has been created by attaching the prefix un to the base word friendly, and it is the opposite of the word friendly. If you look at friendly, the base word friendly, you will see that this word has come into existence by attaching the suffix "ly" to the base word friend. So the word which we are left with at the end of the morphological analysis, which cannot be further split into parts or divisions, becomes the stem. So base can be a stem, but every base is not a stem. You can see that in this word unfriendly, friendly is also a base and friend is also a base. What is a base? The word to which an affix is attached. But why do we call friend base as a stem? Because this is not created by attaching any affix to it. It is the minimal meaningful unit. It is a free morpheme and it cannot be split into further parts. I hope I have made myself clear to you. Let us look at another example of this morphological analysis or structural analysis of this word undeserving. Now, undeserving is the opposite of the word deserving. Deserving is someone who is worthy to receive something, or somebody who is worthy of gaining or acquiring something, whether a prize or a position or some kind of recognition. So here un prefix has been attached to the base word deserving. Deserving is not a stem. Why? Because it has been created by adding the suffix ing to the stem word deserve. Now, why do we call the base deserve as stem? Stem is the root of that word, because it cannot be further split into parts, right? And it has not got any affix attached to it, either a prefix or a suffix. Now, how prefixes are used to create new words? There are various kinds of prefixes. Let us look at the first kind, that is the negative prefixes. As the name suggests, negative prefixes are those affixes which are attached to the base words in the beginning to give rise to a new word that is negative in meaning to the original word. Look at these prefixes quickly. Im, attached to the base word possible or mortal, gives rise to a new word impossible or immortal. Similarly, in, when attached to the base word evitable or sensitive, gives rise to a new word that is inevitable or insensitive. Similarly, un is a prefix which goes with stable and gives us unstable. A, when attached to theist, gives us a new word atheist. Theist is someone who believes in God, and atheist is someone who does not believe in God. Evitable is something which can be avoided, and inevitable is something which cannot be avoided. So for violence, you attach non in the beginning and you get non-violence. For like base word, you attach a prefix dis in the beginning and you get dislike. For logical base word, you add the prefix ill in the beginning and you get illogical. Similarly, ir attached to relevant to create irrelevant. De attached to forestation to create deforestation. Mis attached to represent to create misrepresent. Pseudo attached to religious to create pseudo-religious. Now all these new words from impossible to pseudo-religious in the third column have been possible because of attaching the negative prefixes to their base words. I hope it's clear so far, the explanation and the concepts. Let's move on. Then second kinds of prefixes, they denote the number of the base word. These prefixes are, look at the first column, mono, uni, bi, di, tri, tetra and multi. Mono when attached to log gives a new word monologue. Log is speech. So speech made by one person will be monologue. Unicellular is an organism which has only one cell. Biannual is something which takes place 2 times in a year. Then ode is an electrode and you add di with it, it becomes diode. You must have heard about LED lights, that they are light emitting diodes. Angle, which are 3 in number, we get this figure triangle. Tetra attached to cyclic gives us tetracyclic. Multi is more than 2 So India, we say, is a multilingual and multicultural and multi-religious society. So where you have more than two religions or more than two languages and two cultures. So these were the prefixes of number. Look at the prefixes of time and order. These prefixes of time and order are re, for, pre, post, ex and super. Re-examine means to examine again. Foretell, to tell in advance. Premature, someone, a child which is born before the scheduled time of delivery, or premature results can also be premature, and post-war, after the war, right? Ex principle, the previous principle. Super fine is that's the superlative degree of being fine. Next, prefixes of location. Look at these prefixes which come under this category. They are sub, inter, intra and trans. Sub is below or underneath something, or below a rank or secondary in position. So you have subway, a passage normally which is created underneath, a road for pedestrians, a tunnel kind of a thing is called a subway. Then you have submarine, right? The machines which are used to sail underneath the surface of the oceans to study sea life, or for defense purposes to do surveillance on enemy movements. Then inter-college or international, which means between colleges and between nations. Intra-departmental or intra-group means between the same group or the same department. Transplant is to move to the other place. So when you transplant, you take something to another place. Similarly, transmigration is a word which means when the soul changes the bodies, when it moves from one body to another body. Prefixes of attitude, which shows the attitude of a person, whether it is critical, positive or negative, or of cooperation. For example, pro-democracy is in favor of democracy, anti-social is against social. When we say anti-social activities or criminal activities, then co-sponsor or cooperate means to be in coordination with or in collaboration with something, right? Then to sponsor together a project. Then counter is to act opposite to contradict something, be in opposition to. For example, to counteract or counter proposal. I hope I have made myself clear till now. Let us look at the prefixes of degree or size. You have these prefixes given in the first column. They are super, out, ultra, under, hyper, mini, over, sub and arc. So when attached to these base words, we get new words like supernatural, that is beyond the natural scheme of things. Then outrun or outshine or outdo. These are the words which we get by adding the prefix out to the base word run. So when a race is taking place and you see the player number 3 leaving behind player number 1 and 2, we say in the commentary that player number 3 has outrun player number 1 and 2 and is approaching fast towards the finishing line. So that's how we use outrun. Ultra modern is very, very modern. And undercooked is something which is not cooked properly, right? Which remains a bit raw. And overcooked, which is cooked more than the expected degree. And hyperactive is active in excess. Mini is used for small. Over, more than is necessary. Over smart. Then subhuman is below the standard of being a human being. So below human action or below human statement. So when we see someone losing the basic human values, and then we say that was a subhuman thing to do or a subhuman thing to say. Archangel, arch is the chief, okay, so chief angel or chief bishop. Bishop is a priest of a church. The other prefixes which we see creating new words by getting fixed with the base words are autobiography. So biography is the life of a person, written account of the life of a person. When you add auto to it, it becomes your self-written account of your life, जिसे हम आत्मकथा बोल देते हैं. Then neoclassical, the new classical age, semicircle, semi is half, and then pan is attached with Indian to create pan-Indian. Now, before I move on to the next part of word formation, I would like to deal with some basic concepts of grammar with you. We need to see how many grammatical classes are there in English grammar. There are mainly 8. These are given in the slide: noun, adjective, verb, conjunction, preposition, pronoun, interjection, and adverb. The main which we need to know for doing word formation at present are nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. We'll look at them quickly. See, nouns are naming words, verbs are action words, adverbs are describing words which describe a verb, an adjective, and even an adverb. Then adjectives are again describing words. Their work is to describe a noun in a sentence. So nouns are naming words, and what do they name? They name a person, place, a thing, or an idea. For example, the picture of this missionary of charity, the great soul who has been canonized as a saint, is that of Mother Teresa. So Mother Teresa is a proper noun. Taj Mahal is the name of a monument, a place, a mausoleum in India, in Agra. So it is again a noun. Wall clock, name of an object, is a noun. Now freedom is an idea. Okay, it is a concept. It cannot be shown to a person, cannot be seen, and cannot be physically touched. So it comes under the category of abstract nouns. So abstract nouns are those nouns which name a quality, a feeling, an emotion, an idea, a concept, or a state. For example, boyhood, childhood. Then verbs are action words. They express an action or a state of being. For example, read, write, run, laugh, work. These are all action words. But to be someone, like he is my father, she is a thinker, he is happy. These 3 sentences, they describe the state of that person. These are also verbs. Adjectives, words that give us the quality of a noun or a pronoun. For example, he is free, she is busy, my brother is sick, this child is healthy, he is very kind. Oh, stay positive, she's always positive, she's very soft spoken and sweet, so on and so forth. So they will always qualify a noun. They will describe the quality of a person or a place or a thing. The quality can be negative or positive. These are the various examples of adjectives which are used to describe a noun. Normally the noun is used after the adjective, but not before it. What are adverbs? Now adverb is a word which alters or changes the meaning of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb, or it adds something more to the meaning of a verb, an adjective, or another adverb in a sentence. Look at the 3 examples in this slide. Girl runs quickly. Now runs is a verb. How does she run? Quickly. So quickly is an adverb because it is modifying the action word runs. Next example, this is a very sweet mango. Mango is the name of a fruit. It's a noun. What kind of a mango it is? Sweet. So sweet is telling us the quality of the noun mango. So sweet is an adjective. Very is telling us how sweet is the mango. It is further adding to the meaning of the adjective sweet. So it will be an adverb. Very is an adverb. Why? Because it is adding to the meaning of the adjective sweet in this sentence. Look at the last example. Peter reads quite clearly. Now clearly is an it's an adverb because it tells us how the action of reading gets performed by Peter. How does he read? How does he perform this action of reading? Clearly. Clearly is an adverb. But quite tells us the degree of clarity with which he reads. How clearly he reads. He reads very or quite clearly. So quite is also an adverb as per the definition of adverb. It is a word that can modify another adverb as well. Clearly is an adverb and quite is modifying the adverb clearly. These are the various examples of adverbs that you see being used in English sentences. Now, come to another category of prefixes which are called class changing prefixes. What do we mean by class? We mean the grammatical class of that word, whether it is a noun, a verb, an adverb, or an adjective. Now these are the prefixes given in the first column. What are they? B, N, A, D. When they get attached to the base word, they will change the class of that base word to a different grammatical class while creating a new word. For example, B, when it gets attached to the word friend, which is a noun, creates a new word, befriend, right? So when we say a sentence like a friend in need is a friend in deed, here friend refers to any person who can be someone's friend, and to befriend someone is the action of making someone your friend. So from the class of a noun, the word friend gets converted into a verb when B prefix gets attached to it. So head is a part of a human body. It's the name of the part of human or animal body, but it's a noun, right? And when you add B to it, it becomes behead. Behead means to remove the head of someone. Okay, so it's a verb. Similarly, able is an adjective. He is an able man. Enable is to make someone capable of something, to help someone do something. Please enable me to complete this project on time. Trust is again a noun. It is a feeling, okay? And entrust is the action of putting your trust in someone for doing something. Similarly, float is a verb and afloat is an adjective, right? Head is a noun and ahead is an adjective. I would rather like you students to look at the various dictionary sites and search these words and look at how they have been used in sentences as adjectives and as nouns. That will really enrich your vocabulary, and that will also enable you to use these words in your expression at the oral and at the written level. Look at suffixes now. Suffixes can also be class maintaining and class changing. Class maintaining is, it means that it will not change the grammatical class of the base word when it gets attached to it to create a new word. If the base word was a noun, when the suffix will get attached to it, the new word that gets created, its class will remain noun only with no change. And class changing suffixes, just as we did class changing prefixes, they are the same. When they get attached to the base word, they will change the grammatical class of that base word into a different part of speech or grammatical class. So these are the class maintaining prefixes. You can look at the third column. The word friend, the third column, the first two examples, noun and noun. Which words are noun? Friend and child. But when the suffix ship is attached to friend, you get another word, friendship, which again remains a noun. It does not change in its grammatical class. Similarly, child is a person, and hood, when attached to it, gives you childhood, the state of human life. It's an abstract noun. Friendship is also an idea, a feeling, so that's again an abstract noun. So Hindu, and then from Hindu you get Hinduite. London, you add air to it and you get Londoner, which is a noun. Tiger is a noun. Tigress, the female of a tiger, that is again a noun, name of an animal. King is a noun. Kingdom is again state of ruling a place, so that is again an abstract noun. Same is the case with machine and machinery. The class remains the same by adding ary to it. Let's look at the class changing suffixes from noun to adjective. Duty is the base word. It is a concept. It's an idea. It cannot be touched with your hands or just be shown to anyone. Look, this is beauty. So it is thought of and felt inside your mind. When you add full suffix to it, you get an adjective, beautiful. A beautiful day, a beautiful movie, a beautiful painting, right? So harm is a noun. Harm is again नुकसान या क्षति या loss जिसे आप कहते हैं, damage जिसे कहते हैं, वो एक idea और एक concept है, abstract noun है. From that you get the word harmless. This is a harmless medicine. It will not cause any side effect. So medicine का आपने quality बता दिया harmless लगा के, तो वो adjective बन गया. Look at the word child is a noun. Like आप ऐड करते हैं तो childlike बन जाता है. Childlike बच्चे जैसा होना, ठीक है. It is used in a positive sense. His heart is childlike, very pure and innocent. And accident is a noun, accidental is an adjective. So that meeting was accidental when you say. Child, again, when you add ish suffix to it, you get childish. Now there is a difference between childlike and childish in meaning. Childish is used in a negative sense. When a person does not behave his age, when his actions are not appropriate to his age and he looks very immature and he shows tantrums, then we say, stop acting childish, grow up. Then see, virtue is a noun, again an abstract noun, an idea, right? Virtuous is having noble qualities, right? So he's a virtuous man. Then India, name of a country, noun. Indian is an adjective. We are all Indians, so this is an adjective. Similarly, from China, noun, you get the word Chinese, which is an adjective, by adding the suffix "is" to China. Friend is a noun, and when you add "li" to it, you get the adjective friendly. I hope everything is falling into place and you are enjoying this session of how interesting and amusing it is to see students, the way the words get formed. We've been using them being unconscious of these affixes, prefixes and suffixes which get attached to create bigger words, and how they can even change the grammatical class of the base word. It's very interesting to see all this. Then there are class changing suffixes which change a base word from an adjective to a noun. For example, the word able, it gets changed into ability, which is a noun, right? The word happy, when ness follows it, we've done already in the beginning, right? We get a noun, happiness, which is an abstract noun. Brave is an adjective, the brave soldier, right? The brave warrior, the brave girl, the brave speaker. So brave is an adjective, but when we add ry, it becomes a quality of being brave, जिसे हम वीरता बोलते हैं, right? तो बहादुर है, वीर है, और वीरता का गुण है bravery. Bravery is an abstract noun, name of a quality. There are class changing suffixes which change nouns to verbs. For example, fort, okay, it's a castle, नाउन है. फोर्टिफाई करना किसी जगह को, किलाबंदी कर देना, उसका डिफेंस बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग कर देना. लेंथ नाउन है, आइडिया का नाम है लंबाई. लेंदन करना, राइट, लंबा कर देना किसी चीज़ को, इट्स अ वर्ब. टॉप इज अगेन नाउन, आइडिया. टॉप पे कोई चीज़ है, उच्च स्तर पे कोई चीज़ है. टॉपल कर देना, किसी को ऊंची चीज़ से नीचे गिरा देना. Then how verbs are changed into adverbs by these class changing suffixes. Sleep के साथ इली जब हमने लगाया तो sleepily बन गया. He walks sleepily, he talks sleepily. तो walk and talk verb है. कैसे करता है वो ये walk और talk? Sleepily करता है, सुस्ती में, नींद की अवस्था में. Play verb है, play से fully suffix attach किया तो we got playfully. The young one of the deer jumped across the plains playfully. कैसे jump across किया plains पे, मैदान पे, deer के बच्चे ने बिल्कुल खिलंदड़पन के साथ, खेल कूद और मस्ती करते हुए. एडजेक्टिव टू एडवर्ब कैसे चेंज होता है? नाइस एडजेक्टिव है और नाइस में ली लगाया तो नाइसली हो गया. ही वर्क्स नाइसली, ही ट्रीट्स अदर्स नाइसली. बैक इज एन एडजेक्टिव एंड बैकवर्ड्स एडवर्ब हो गया. ही वॉक्ड बैकवर्ड्स, ही मूव्ड बैकवर्ड्स. देन let us look at the next slide where verbs are being changed into nouns. Interesting. अब ये words जो second column में दिए हैं, आप देखें सारे verbs हैं. drive, govern, drain, pollute करना, pay करना, condemn करना, condemn is criticize, withdraw करना, निकाल लेना, पीछे हट जाना, withdraw करना, act. Then इनमें suffixes लगाएं तो हमें जो नया word मिल रहा है वो एक noun है. drive से driver, गवर्न से गवर्नमेंट, ड्रेन से ड्रेनेज, पोल्यूट से पोल्यूटेंट्स. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड, these are all pollutants, they pollute the air. पे से पेई, कीमत अदा करने वाला, पेई. कंडेमनेशन, दैट इज क्रिटिसिज्म, आलोचना. विड्रॉ से विड्रॉल, withdrawal of the students from the school rolls, that's how it is used. And act से actor, noun हमें मिल गया suffix अर लगा के. Now this is all about affixation, which was the first process of word formation which we took up. Now the second form or the process of word formation is called compounding. And what is compounding? Here the two words are combined to form a new word. How? Look at the examples. Water plus bed gives us water bed. Door plus knob gives us door knob. Wall plus paper gives us wallpaper. Home plus work gives us homework. And pick plus pocket, when attached, they give us a new word, that is pick pocket. Similarly, you see the examples of the words given here, where the first and the second word, their grammatical class is that of a noun. Motor, cycle. Fire, engine. Bread, peas. Goldfish, paper bag. All are nouns. Then you have noun plus adjective. Home, sick. Home is the name of a place. Sick is to be sick. It's a quality, right? It modifies a person, like to be ill or to be missing something, You say, I'm homesick. Then sea, green. Sea is the name of a water body, and green is an adjective. It gives the color of a thing. So sea green. Similarly, beauty is abstract noun. Conscious is to be सतर्क, जिसे हम कहते हैं, जागरूक होना, होश में होना. तो कॉन्शियस एंड एडजेक्टिव, उससे मिला में ब्यूटी. कॉन्शियस किस चीज़ के बारे में कॉन्शियस है? वो सुंदरता के बारे में कॉन्शियस है. ट्रस्ट एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नाउन है, नेम ऑफ एन आइडिया, कॉन्सेप्ट या फीलिंग कह लीजिए. वर्दी, योग्य होना. तो वो किसके योग्य है? विश्वास के योग्य है. वी गेट दिस वर्ड बाय combining adjective and noun. Now look at these again. यहाँ पे क्या adjective पहले और noun बाद में है. इन दोनों words को join करके हमें नए word मिल रहे हैं. Red light, pale face, black sheep and green horn. Other examples of compounding are heartbreaking, easy going, babysitting, brainwashing, walking stick. अगर इनको आप देखें ध्यान से तो heart जो है that is the name of a body organ, तो that is a noun. Breaking जो है that is a verb, तो वर्बल नाउन हो गया ये. इजी एडजेक्टिव है. गोइंग इज अ वर्ब, एडजेक्टिव प्लस वर्ब हो गया. बेबी नाउन है. सिटिंग इज अ वर्ब, सो दिस इज नाउन एंड वर्ब. ब्रेन इज अ नाउन. वॉशिंग इज अ वर्ब, वर्बल नाउन हो गया. वॉकिंग इज अ वर्ब. स्टिक इज अ नाउन. दिस इज अगेन अ वर्बल नाउन. Look at reduplication, which is the third process of word formation. What do we mean by reduplication? These are the processes of forming new words either by doubling an entire word or part of a word. So total reduplication in English is extremely rare. यहाँ पे जो फर्स्ट वर्ड है उसका थोड़ा सा फॉर्म चेंज करके उसको रिपीट कर दिया जाता है. ठीक है, उसको एक तरह से कॉपी किया जाता है सेकेंड प्लेस पे. जैसे कि हम्टी डम्टी, होकस पोकस, डिंग डोंग, चिट चैट, डिली डेली, क्रिस क्रॉस, डिंगल डैंगल, फ्लिम फ्लैम, निक नैक, स्क्रिप स्क्रैप, विडल वैडल, विली नीली, रिगल रैगल. Ding dong is basically the sound of the ringing of the bell. And then chit chat आपको पता ही है, गपशप करनी. And then crisscross होता है where intersection of straight lines is taking place. जैसे एक बहुत बूढ़ी औरत है, उसका फेस आपने बताना है, तो her face was a crisscross of wrinkles. झुर्रियों की लाइनें जो है एक दूसरे को क्रॉस करती हुई नजर आ रही थी उसके चेहरे पर. डिंगल डैंगल होता है टू लूज, टू हैंग लूज. सो शी वॉज वेयरिंग अ ब्यूटिफुल ड्रेस एंड डिंगल डैंगल इयरिंग्स. निकनैक आर थिंग्स जो कि रैंडमली पड़ी होती हैं जगहों पे, अननेसेसरी सी दिखती हैं. जैसे कि उस कमरे में चेयर्स थी, टेबल्स थी, एंड लॉट ऑफ निकनैक कुड ऑल्सो बी सीन. बाकी के वर्ड्स आई विल लाइक यू टू फाइंड द मीनिंग योर सेल्फ. दैट इज एन एक्सरसाइज फॉर यू. सम आई हैव गिवन यू. Echoism. Now echoism is a word formation process in which words are formed in a way where their sound suggests their meaning, like hissing of a snake. That's the sound which snake produces, right? And when you say hiss, you can also hear the sound which a snake actually makes, right? Similarly, pee-wee, it's the call of a bird which is called pee-wee, and then roaring of a lion. Similarly, ticking of clock, cracking of the door, tinkling of bells, whisper, and humming of the bees, twittering of birds, croaking of frogs. When we say cows moo, so moo suggests the meaning of the sound of cow. And when we say cats mew, that again mew it suggests the meaning of the sound of the cat. Then gurgling of waters in streams is another example of echoism. Clipping means to cut. So here a word which has more than one syllable or one part is created by deleting one or more syllables. Its form is cut short. For example, when we say photo from photograph, the graph has been deleted from photograph to create the shortened or the clipped form of the word photograph, that is photo. So gas from gasoline, burger from hamburger, mic from microphone, hanky from handkerchief, lab from laboratory, maths from mathematics, phone from telephone, and flu from influenza. There are many kinds of clippings, like there is back clipping, fore clipping, middle clipping, and complex clipping. Back clipping, where the back part of a word is clipped and cut or deleted. Fore clipping, when the part which occurs at the beginning of a word is cut to create a shortened form of the word. Middle, when the clipping happens in the middle. And complex, when it happens at both the ends of a word. What are acronyms? This formation of words is done by adding the initials of a set of words, by combining them. For example, if you look at pin, the last example I picked up, pin has been created by picking up the initial letter of each word in its full form. Personal identification number, by joining PIN, pin has been created. Similarly, laser, it has again been created by joining the initial letters of the words in the full form of the term laser, that is light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Then radar has been created by joining the initial letters of the set of words radio, detection, and ranging. Scuba has been created by joining the initials of a set of words, that is self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. You can go through this list of examples of acronyms and increase your knowledge, expand your knowledge of words. Conversions. Conversion is very interesting because here same word can be used as different grammatical classes of words without changing their form, without addition of an affix. This process of deriving or generating words is called conversion. How? Look at this example. The word calm as a noun has been used in the first sentence. The calm lasted for 3 days. Calm here means the state of calmness. So calm here is an abstract noun. Calm is an adjective. When you say the sea was calm before the storm, here the sea, its meaning is being modified or added to by the word calm. Calm gives the quality of the sea. Shant Sagar, right? So Sagar, it's the name of a water body, noun, और इसको calm जो है modify कर रहा है, उसकी quality दे रहा है, adjective है ये. Calm as a verb. When you say, why don't you calm yourself down? Why are you getting so fussy and angry and upset? Or try to calm yourself. अपने को शांत करो. कुछ करना is an action thing, so it is a verb here. तो काम तीनों केसेस में हमने उसकी फॉर्म नहीं चेंज की, पर हम फिर भी उसकी ग्रामेटिकल फंक्शन को चेंज कर पाए अलग अलग सेंटेंसेस में, कॉन्टेक्स्ट में यूज़ करके. सो दिस इज़ द ब्यूटी ऑफ इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज, दैट द सेम वर्ड कैन बी यूज्ड एज डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ स्पीच and can convey multiple meanings. That's why this language is very rich. The same word can have so many meanings with the change of situation or the context or background in which it is being used. And the same word can have different grammatical classes also with the change of situation. Look at the word light. The sun gives light. So here it's a noun. Adjective, he was carrying a light bag, मतलब वजन में हल्का था बस्ता. Light as a verb, जलाना, he will light a candle in the room. And light as an adverb कैसे होगा? Travel light मतलब बहुत बोझ लेकर सफ़र में साथ मत चलो. वज़न जो होता है लगेज का, अगर चलना है तो सफ़र तुम्हारा अच्छा बीतेगा, आरामदायक बीतेगा. In that sense, travel light if you must. I hope conversion is clear to you. Look at borrowings. Now, English language has come into contact with so many languages, and that has resulted in the enrichment of this language further, because it has borrowed so many words from different languages with which it came into contact. What are these languages, and what are some examples of the words which it has borrowed from those languages? Let us look at them. Guru has been taken from Hindi, bazaar from Persian and English, sheikh from Arabic, tycoon from Japanese, and dame from French. Then, as new inventions and discoveries keep on taking place, there is a need to create a word to refer to that invention or discovery. Naming has to be done. For that, new words have to be given or created. So, X-ray, CT scan, these were not there, say 200 years back. So these are the result of inventions, and that is why the words have been created to refer to those inventions. Similarly, webinar, the seminar which happens virtually and through the use of web is a webinar. Virtual classroom, online classroom, which is not a real classroom. COVID-19, we have come across this disease recently, and we are all going through a challenging time because of it. Smartphone, these gadgets were not there 40 or 50 years back. Similarly, CD, compact disc, pen drive, submarine, dengue, the name of a fever, spaceship, TRP is television rating point. So all these words have been created to refer to new inventions. Then new words also get created when two words are clipped, and then the cut words are joined to form a new word. This is a very interesting process of word formation. Look at the term brunch. Brunch has been created by clipping breakfast and lunch and then joining their clipped form together to create brunch. Breakfast में आप देखो BR उठा लिया गया और lunch का L हटा के UNCH उठा लिया गया और उनको ज्वाइन करके एक नया ब्लेंडेड वर्ड, फ्यूज्ड और मिक्स्ड वर्ड जो है बना लिया गया ब्रंच. बेसिकली ब्रंच जो लेट ब्रेकफास्ट होता है, नियर लंच एंड वेरी लेट फ्रॉम द टाइम ऑफ द ब्रेकफास्ट, उस मील को ब्रंच कह दिया जाता है. स्मोक एंड फॉग से बना है. जब स्मोक के साथ साथ फॉग भी हो, वैसा हो एयर में, तो कहते हैं कि स्मॉग बहुत थी सिटी में उस दिन. टेलीकास्ट, टेलीविजन और ब्रॉडकास्ट को मिक्स करके बनाया गया है. मोटेल, मोटरिस्ट एंड होटल को क्लिप करके बनाया गया है. तो होटल ऑन द रोड साइड जहाँ मोटरिस्ट रुक सकते हैं और खा सकते हैं ड्यूरिंग देयर जर्नी, दैट्स कॉल्ड अ मोटेल. Back formation is another process of forming words. Here a new word is created by clipping some part of the word from the back end. तो एक वर्ड के पीछे से हिस्सा थोड़ा रिमूव करके एक नया वर्ड क्रिएट कर दिया जाता है, इसीलिए बैक फॉर्मेशन टर्म यूज़ की है इसके लिए. लुक एट द वर्ड एडिट. एडिटर से ये क्रिएट किया गया है. सिमिलरली डायग्नोसिस से डायग्नोज, डोनेशन से डोनेट, इवैल्यूएशन से इवैल्यूएट, मैनिपुलेशन से मैनिपुलेट, एंड फ्रॉम वैक्सीनेशन, सॉरी देयर इज अ मिस्टेक इन दिस स्लाइड, लेट मी करेक्ट इट. वैक्सीनेशन वर्ड से वैक्सीनेट वर्ड जो है वो क्रिएट हुआ है. So students, these were the 11 processes of word formation which I talked about in today's session, and these are the various references. You can visit these websites and you can further explore these concepts and make your notes and practice. Thank you so much. Happy learning. And if you have any questions, I have already formed the Google Class WhatsApp group. You can always put your questions to me, and I will meet you soon. And there will be certain assignments which I'll be giving you on word formation. All the best.